Namaste, I'm Ann Averbach.
I'm Gab.
And we have a short inversions practice workshop here today. We're going to break down headstand, Pinchamayurasana, and handstand in a quick, concise way, hopefully. So we're going to come right into it just with a 5-minute prep in order to get ourselves nice and warmed up, get the core warmed up. So let's come onto the bellies. Measure opposite elbow to opposite elbow. Bring the forearms out in front of you. And then suction cupping the hands back and in, tuck the toes, and inhale and come into a forearm plank. So here, inhale, exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale back. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale back. Right knee, right tricep. And back. Left knee, left tricep, and back. One more time each side. Right knee, right tricep. Left knee, left tricep. Right arm straightens. Left arm straightens. Coming into a high plank. Right hand to the midline. Outer edge of the right foot. Vashisthasana. Left bicep by ear. 3 hip dips just to warm up the shoulders. Right hip dips and lifts and dips and lifts and dips and lifts. Come back to a high plank. Shoulders over the wrists. Right forearm down, left forearm down. Right arm straightens, left arm straightens. Left hand to the midline. Knife edge of the left foot. Right bicep by ear. 3 hip dips. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. 2 and 3. Come back to center. Cross your ankles, face me. Just a little Navasana movement here. Arms up, legs up, Navasana. And then just slowly exhaling to low, inhale high. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you're welcome to take as much core work as you want. We really recommend more core the better before. In honor of time today, we're going to come right into our first asana, which is headstand. So whenever you're doing especially handstand preps, you really want to make sure that your wrists are nice and warmed up. So we have just a couple minutes of wrist warm-ups for you today. You can go ahead and start to rotate the wrists. Internal rotations and external rotations. And the big thing is to really start wiggling all of the fingers, finding the undulation in all of the fingers. And then inhale, right arm out, and then just draw the fingers back, press through the thumb, reach, spread the pinky away from the thumb, and exhale and shake the right hand. Left arm out, fingers draw back, spread the thumb away from the pinky, really press through the eye of that wrist, and roll it out, shake it out.
Okay, so I'll take you through a sequence that I really like to warm up before I start to stand on my hands. So let's get on all four. Let's have the thumbs pointing forward. Turn the eyes of the elbows outside. Our back of the heart to the sky, and make sure that the shoulders are over the wrist. Now we're going to use the breath. So inhale, lean to the left, and exhale, lean to the right. So you just go for sensation here. You don't go for any pain. But if your wrist starts to open up, you can slowly go in a little bit deeper. But make sure when you do that the fingers are pressed against the mat so that the nails are becoming white. That will protect your wrist. Good, let's come back to center. Flip the hands, have the palms facing you, the thumbs are facing forward. Inhale at the top. Exhale, bring the elbows forward to a 90-degree angle and the forehead to the mat. Exhale, come up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. exhale out. Inhale down. Exhale out. Come back to regular tabletop. Now bring the knees a little bit closer to start with. Lift the toes and press all fingers to the mat, lifting the base of the wrist. So it goes like this. The elbows are straight, eyes of the elbow facing forward, back of the heart to the sky. Now I'm going to lift the wrist and down. So if this is hard, I'm bringing my knees a little bit closer. If this is easy and I can go like easy, I'm bringing the knees back. Whatever I do, I have my shoulder directly over my wrist. And eventually the idea is to go all the way into full plank. But this is, so if you're struggling or shaking knees down, if you want to take it further, the knees back. This will really build strength in your wrists and will allow you to avoid a lot of injuries that most people have. So I recommend it to begin with any practice that you do, because you know the basic arm balance is down facing up.
So we're going to start off with headstand Shirshasana. This is the king of all asanas. Getting upside down and getting the blood flowing in the opposite direction is so powerful for our health. So you're going to come out, measure opposite elbow to opposite elbow, and then extend the fingers out in front of you and make a basket for your head. Interlace the fingers. Bring the crown of the head between the hands, and then rooting evenly through the elbows and the forearms. You're going to tuck the toes and lift the hips. And then slowly you're going to start to walk the feet in, walk the feet in, walk the feet in. And then rooting evenly, make sure that you really have this tripod here. You have this triangle from the elbows to the wrists. And then maybe you lift one heel, maybe you start to float both heels into the air. Maybe you start to float both heels up, yeah. And lifting the legs straight up. Flexing the toes. And really focus here on knitting the low ribs together, lifting through the feet. He's got a great headstand practice, but what you might see are people kind of creating like a huge curve in the lumbar, in which case we say knit the low belly in and then lift the feet up. Beautiful. And then you can stay here. You could do some other fun moves here. You could start to, I'll come up to, you could start to maybe straddle one leg or straddle both legs. You could start to bring the soles of the feet together. You could start to come into a half lotus. You could start to come into a full lotus. Lots of different options here in your Shirshasana. So, exhale, and slowly coming down. Always taking child's pose in between. And then it's always nice as a teacher, you can traction their low back. Feel. Allow the person to relax for a moment in child's pose. All right, so that was Shirshasana A. We're gonna play now with tripod. So, tripod, and we're gonna play with a little transition. Tripod to, let's play with a fun transition here. Let's play with crow to tripod and then little leg dips. So, coming into crow pose, hands shoulder distance apart, bending your knees, walking the knees close to the triceps, hugging in, and then from here, you can stay here or slowly lowering the crown of the head to the earth. So make sure you have enough room for the crown of the head, bringing the crown of the head down to the earth, and then from here, slowly lifting one leg and the other. And then little knee dips, knee to tricep, knee to tricep. So right knee to the right tricep and back, left knee to the left tricep and back. Beautiful. Right knee, right tricep and back, left knee, left tricep and back. And then you can bring both knees down and hug back in and slowly come back up into crow. So slowly, slowly hug into the midline, press through the hands and slowly start to lift the head. And then from here, if you're super badass, you can come to Parsvabhakasana. So coming into, or a one-legged crow. So from here, yeah, right knee, right tricep, and maybe you play with floating that back leg into the air. Nice, beautiful. Just something to play with, and then always doing the second side too, left knee, left tricep, and maybe it's a lot of bandha work. So a lot of Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, hugging into the midline here. So beautiful. Nice. And then again, always child's pose in between. Beautiful work here. Slow, deep, full breathing. All right. And now we're going to come into Pincha Mayurasana, so forearm balance. So now once again, you're going to measure opposite elbow to opposite elbow, and then bringing the hands out in front of you. The really important thing here is to use the fingers like claws. So really action, suction cup those fingers. And now come up, tuck the toes, and come up with the legs. Lift the legs into a dolphin. And now from here, you can gaze between the thumbs, and just to warm things up, exhale, dip the nose between the thumbs. Inhale, press back. Exhale, dip. Inhale, press back. These are great exercises. We'll just do 3 more today. Doing 5 to 10 of these a day is a really powerful way just to get yourself set up for Pincha Mayurasana. So 1 more for him. And then from here, you're gonna just start to walk the feet in. So walk the feet towards the hands. Start to walk the legs in. And then maybe you just play with one leg coming up and just play with hovering there with an internal rotation of the thighs. Maybe you play with starting to bring one leg up and then taking little hops here. Beautiful. Nice. And then I'm gonna show you an option here. I'm gonna brace his leg to help him come up. So coming back down, forearms parallel, and then I'm gonna have him lift this leg, and instead of floating, I'm just gonna hold this leg, hold the thigh, and then I'm gonna bring my hand between the knees or the ankles, depending on my proportions. I'm shorter than he is, so hands between the knees, and then hug my hand. Hug my hand, knit the low ribs in, inhale, lift through the feet. Beautiful. And then exhale, child's pose. And again, tractioning the low back, feeling a nice opening. Always remembering to take child's pose between the inversions so that you can come back to a space of balance. All right, beautiful. We're going pretty quickly today since we have a short amount of time. Normally we'd spread this out into a much larger workshop. But for today, now the final section is going to be handstand preps. So we're going to come into down dog, and we'll do those kick switches. So down dog, right leg high, right leg into the air. Internally rotate the thighs, and then bending the left knee, and without being really goal-oriented, you're just playing with kick switching the legs in the air. So shoulders over wrists, knuckles spread, and then inhale, just scissor kicking the legs side to side. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful, beautiful. And so So you're welcome to just stay with those. Playing with those is a great way to go upside down. You're also welcome to play with coming back up, down dog, one leg high, so right leg high, bending the left knee, just play with little hops, so just getting the left heel to kick the sit bone. Yeah, so just left heel, kick the sit bone, and lower. 2, 3, and then switch. Right leg high, internally rotate the thighs, and then left knee bends and heel to glute for 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. 4. Nice. And then pressing, lifting. So beautiful. So maybe you float up and catch it, and maybe you don't. The last one that we're going to show today is using the wall. So we're going to come to the wall, and we'll just do the one where you float up to the wall. So facing the wall, make sure that you're about 1.5 feet away from the wall here, about 1.5 feet away, and then coming to a down dog. An easy way to start playing with handstand is using the wall, so start to walk your feet in. Start to walk your feet in, and then same thing, right leg high, and then bending the left knee, start to take those floats, but maybe the wall starts to catch you here. So maybe the wall catches you, and then pressing through the hands, you just hot potato the wall as an opportunity to find your inversion. Beautiful. So pressing through the hands, lifting the heels, finding that activation in the feet, using the hands as your feet. Nice. And then yeah, coming to a ragdoll. Opposite elbow to opposite elbow. Sway it out. Sway it out. Crown of the head heavy. All right. We have one more arm balance for you today to add in with this one. And we're going to do Akapada Galavasana. So Akapada Galavasana is really about the setup. Maybe you can show it from the front and I'll show it from the side. So with Akapada Galavasana, you're going to bring the feet hip distance apart, bend the knees, right ankle outside of left knee. And then drawing the hips back, you're going to slowly come low. So right foot hooks left tricep, right foot hooks right shin to right tricep. Option to stay here, great place. Option to press the hands into the earth. And then maybe you play with lifting the left heel an inch and just hammering it up and down on the earth. Maybe you play with starting to extend that left leg into the air. And then always coming back and doing the second side. Coming up, maybe shaking out the hips a little bit, and feet hip distance, bending the knees, left ankle, right knee now, hands to prayer, slowly starting to come lower. It's really all about the setup, so left foot hooks right tricep, and you can stay here and just visualize it for a while, or hands to the earth, and maybe you play with just lifting the right heel an inch. Maybe you play with extending that right foot back. For a few slow breaths. Coming back out. Inhale, coming up. Thank you for joining us today. Please take Shavasana. Namaste.